This is Stuff You Like, you can call me Ursa. Fanfic gets a terrible rap, and I think that's a bit crummy, to be honest. A fanfiction is a piece of fiction, aka a story or a poem or whatever, written by someone who is not the creator of the work about some other piece of work. I also feel obligated to tell you the plot of Half-Blood Prince, because that is ostensibly our jumping off point for today. So, the plot it goeth thusly. Harry comes back for his 6th year at Hogwarts. Snape is now Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher and also the Half-Blood Prince, incidentally. Dumbledore teaches Harry about Tom Riddle's super tragic past and his murder-born soul jars, aka Horcruxes. Draco Malfoy actually does something proactive, albeit quite evil, but can't kill Dumbledore. Snape kills Dumbledore. Harry, Ron and Hermione resolve to go Horcrux hunting in the next book. There's also Harry starting and then stopping because gotta go save the world, and also I don't want to put you in the line of fire, a relationship with Ginny Weasley. And this was the part that I read in the books and thought, you know, this feels like fanfic. Probably because it's from Harry's point of view, and Harry doesn't really believe that this relationship with Ginny is going to last, and so everything takes on an unreal, dreamlike quality. That might explain it. Today we're talking about fic more generally, so I will be making some Harry Potter comparisons, but that isn't really what this episode is about. But you're probably kind of used to that by now. Okay, where to start? There is a vlog somewhere on my YouTube channel entitled Fanfic and Why I'll Never Read an Anne Rice Book. And we will be hitting some of the high points of that here again, but we'll be doing some new stuff too. Fanfic is important, and that's for many reasons, but I'm gonna hit a couple of them today, including fanfic makes people better writers. Writing is all about clearly communicating anything, and being able to clearly communicate is increasingly important in an increasingly interconnected world. Employment, not to mention daily life, requires you on a semi-regular basis to put fingers to keyboard and not just spout unintelligible gibberish. Want to apply for a job? Email a potential client? Construct an online dating profile? All of these things require you to be able to write coherently. And actually, all of those only require you to be a half-decent writer, someone who can construct sentences and use correct spelling and grammar. But if you want to be a good writer, yeah, you're gonna need more than that. To be a good writer, you have to write a lot, but just writing a lot isn't necessarily helpful. The 10,000 hour rule from Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers is all about how you need 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to become a master at something, to become really great. But deliberate practice is all about doing the difficult things and getting constructive feedback. It is hard to get constructive feedback for your writing. I mean, I guess if you're a teenager, you might get some help from your English teacher, but if you're just starting out writing fiction generally, fanfic is what you need. Why, you ask? You need a specific level of feedback depending on your experience. Criticism is an art just like writing is, and it's easy to be negative. It's easy to look at, say, the Harry Potter books and comment on the simplistic writing style, or on the insane length of Order of the Phoenix and how it could probably have used some more editing, but it's not easy to be helpful as well as, you know, critical. That takes some practice as well. So fanfiction is excellent if you start out in a relatively major fandom, like, oh, I don't know, Harry Potter, because you've got loads of different levels of writers. So you have the baby writers in the Harry Potter fandom, and you need them to get reviews which say you need to spell check your work and format it properly and use paragraphs and blah blah blah. And then when they get slightly better, you need the next level up. You need people to come and critique their plot or their use of characters, and up you go, and there will always be someone who is better than you, and this is exactly what you want for feedback. And this knowledge that you get from writing fanfiction accumulates, and it doesn't just go away, so you become a better writer in all aspects of your life because you are writing Snape Draco /fic. I've heard fanfic described as the lazy option because the characters and the setting are all there, but to those people I say phooey, because you have to start somewhere. You need the crutch of a familiar set of characters or a familiar world to get people to pay attention. Otherwise, people are just gonna go, nope, I'm good, thank you. And even when you're perfectly capable of creating your own characters and settings, you might still decide that you like writing fanfiction for other reasons. Like, because it makes you happy. Or another great thing about fanfic, it connects you more deeply, not only to the other people in the fandom, but to the art itself and to the act of creation itself. Writing fanfic is creating art. It might not be very good art, but that's really not the point. It's one of the ways you can go from passive consumption of content to active engagement. And reading fanfic opens you to possibilities that you haven't considered before, but it does so under the guise of something familiar, so you're more likely to accept it or to take it on board or just to read it in the first place. It allows you to think about the relationships between the characters in a new way, or it fleshes out a minor character more fully so that you appreciate them. It allows you to play with the sex and the gender of the characters, their relationships, alternate universes, the genre, all of that good stuff. Reading fanfiction, like reading any other kind of fiction, is a window into a different world. But unlike with original fiction, that world doesn't have to be mass marketable. A fic writer doesn't need to go through the hands of publishers, they don't need to revise and draft and redraft, and while that means that, yes, the average fanfic is worse than the average novel, it doesn't matter. While most fiction and fanfiction, like indeed anything, is terrible, it doesn't have to pass through the hands of publishers to get to you. It doesn't have to be marketable. And that means there is no quality control on it, which can be a terrible thing, but also it means that you are completely free to do whatever you want, and so you can do things which no publisher would ever touch. Fanfic. It's awesome. Respect it. Okay, next time we are talking about why friendship truly is magic in our last in the Harry Potter series, Harry Potter and the Lovely Fellows. And hey, we're at the end of the series now, so you know that the titles cannot get any worse. I don't know how much of a comfort that is to you. See you then!